Let's talk about what happens when your body just isn't tired. Your spirit is tired too. When the exhaustion goes beyond fatigue and it sinks into something heavier, a kind of emotional shutdown, a mental fog, the quiet numbness that follows narcissistic abuse. Hi, and welcome back to the Are You Annie podcast. In the last episode, we talked about the physical effects of narcissistic abuse, how your body sometimes carries the trauma long after your mind has caught up. Things like fatigue, headaches, stomach issues, or that constant feeling of being on high alert, even when nothing is happening. Today, I want to take the conversation just a little deeper because behind those physical symptoms, there's often something else, something harder to name, but it's just as real. It's a different kind of weight. I've heard so many people, men and women both, describe it in nearly the same words. They say things like, I couldn't feel anything. I didn't care about anything anymore. I wasn't sad. I just wasn't there. And these individuals who are no longer trapped in the relationship are saying this. These survivors who've already done the hardest part, they got out, but the heaviness, it lingers. And I want to say this right now. You are not broken. You are not weak, and you are not lazy. I know sometimes that's what you think, and that's exactly what the narcissist wants you to believe. But what you're feeling right now, that's what it looks like when someone's been fighting for their own worth far too long. This isn't giving up. It's your system trying to recover. Now let's talk about the invisible fallout. Helplessness. It's not quite the same of isolation, a topic we've spent considerable time on, although it can lead to isolation. Helplessness is that sinking feeling that nothing you do will change anything, that your voice doesn't matter, that any step you take will be twisted or used against you. In a narcissistic relationship, especially a long-term one, helplessness becomes part of your daily reality, doesn't it? You stop asking for things, or you stop trying to explain. You might even stop hoping that things will get better. And when the relationship finally ends, your body doesn't always know it's safe yet. It stays on lockdown. It says, let's just not move. Let's not risk it. I think of it as a protective shutdown, a kind of learned hopelessness where you were trained to believe that your efforts would only backfire. But here's the truth. That numbness, that withdrawal, that's not failure. That's survival. I want to say this clearly. If you're feeling this way, numb, low, like you've lost yourself, you are not crazy and you're not being dramatic and you are not alone. I'm here to tell you that you are still in there. Please know that this podcast isn't here to diagnose anything. I've said it many times, I'm not a therapist or a clinician, but I am here, and we are all here together to validate each other. You know, I've sat with individuals who've lived this. I know what it does to your hearts and your bodies, and I see you so very clearly. The shutdown you might be feeling is not a sign that you're too far gone. It's a sign that your system has been protecting you, maybe just too long. And healing doesn't always look like joy at first. Sometimes it just looks like stillness. Sometimes it might feel like a single deep breath after years of holding it in. So if any part of this resonates with you, if you're listening right now and you're thinking, that's exactly where I am, I want to gently invite you to stay with yourself. Not fix, not force, just notice. Notice what comes up when you hear these words. Notice what your body's been holding for you. And most of all, notice that you are still here. You haven't given up and you're listening. And that alone means something inside of you is still alive. The spark is still there, even if it's quiet. For those of you new to my podcast, I'm Kyle Hackley, attorney and author of Undercurrent, a story about Annie who breaks free from a narcissistic marriage. Annie isn't just one person, is anyone who's ever experienced narcissistic abuse. And Are You Annie is a space to hear you, validate you, and to walk this healing journey with you. You are not alone here, and I want you to remember that you are stronger than you think. I want you to be tenacious and never, ever give up on what's important to you. Thank you for staying on this journey with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.